What was I doing fighting a Pitbull? Chad, do you want to hear about the time I fought a Pitbull? Yes? I didn't even have this story prepared, but if you guys want to hear about the time I fought a Pitbull, I'm down for this. Okay. So we got a story in the story. So we got to pull the clocks back to when I was working for Weedman Lawn Care, okay? If you guys are in the United States, you should probably know what Weedman Lawn Care is. At the time, I was a supervisor for Weedman Lawn Care, okay? My job involved like mixing chemicals and like on training our staff and all that kind of stuff. Pretty much normal supervisory stuff, right? And then there was this one day that my boss came up to me and he's just like, Jik, we have a run that is the worst possible run in your life. You're gonna drive like an hour to do one house, and then you're gonna drive another hour and a half to do another house, and you're gonna drive another hour to do another house, and you got about 10 or 12 houses in your list, and it's going to be like a 12-hour day, okay? But like most of it's just driving, and we're gonna pay you by the hour today. It's gonna be fine, but it's gonna be like the worst fucking driving day of your life. And I'm like, okay. But I'm getting paid for all this driving, right? He's like, you're getting paid for all this driving. I'm like, okay, bet. So what I had to do was when I drove over to this place, all I had to do was go into their backyard and put down fertilizer in their backyard. They hadn't had their gates open for like 3 months. The guy told us that they were coming back from like Iraq. Like they were coming, but they're a soldier, okay? And they're coming back from Iraq and everything's gonna be opened and good and all that kind of stuff, right? So I'm like, okay, bet. I'm going to come on over and we're going to get your lawn done, right? So I drive over there and it's like 8 a.m. in the morning. And I drive over there and I get to the house and the backyard door is open, okay? And I'm like, okay, sweet. The backyard gate is open and it's a massive property. We're talking about a mansion, okay? We're talking about like the front yard, just the front yard is 5,000 square feet. Just for the front yard that you drive in, it's like a loop-de-loop. And then it has massive side yards as well, okay? So I'm gonna have to do the front yard, but I have to do the backyard first. So I open to the backyard, and this is the scenario with the backyard. It is, cinder block in cliffs, okay? So his house goes up next to a mountain, and the entire backyard is blasted out rock that is now filled in with grass, okay? So the entire backyard is an enclosed rock space, okay? No way in, no way out, except for that gate, okay? So I get in through that gate, and the gate is big, okay? Like it's a huge gate, like you could drive a boat through it, right? I get through the gate, I close the gate behind me, and I start putting out the fertilizer. I run all the way to the back of this guy's backyard against the rock wall, and then all of a sudden I hear, and I'm like, the fuck is that? I turn around, and there's this old big dog, okay? It's like a Saint Bernard mixed with a lab, stuff like that. And it's just like, you know when you can tell that a dog is an old geezer, right? So I look over it, and he's all like, oh, roo, 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 roo. Basically just making a noise saying like I'm there. I'm like, okay, hey buddy, how you doing, big dog? Yeah, you're a big tough dog, it's all good. And then I see it. Back door of the house has a doggy door. And all of a sudden the doggy door punches through, and there is a 2-year-old female pit bull that just barreled through the fucking door. And she looks and she points at me and she tears off at me, just runs full bolt at me as the big dog's going, and I'm just like, fuck, as this dog is running full charge at me, right? Like low to the ground, full charge. All of a sudden I hear like the owner being like, what's going on? And I'm like, sir, get your dogs, Pitbull running full force at me, right? All of a sudden it's within about like 2 feet of me, right? And it jumps, okay? Right at me, jumps, mouth out wide, okay? Now, if you guys don't know my past, I grew up training German Shepherds, okay? I've grown up with guard dogs. So when this Pitbull jumped and went to go snap at me, I parried it, okay? I literally got out of its way, And then as it's passing me, I go ahead and do a tap, 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 tap on its side, right? And as soon as I did the tap, tap, tap on the side, I said these exact words, like, oh, who's a good girl? Who's a good girl, right? She runs past me, turns around, runs back at me again, and tries to do a jumping bite again, right? Dodge her again, tap, 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 tap at the side, and like kind of give her a little bit of a pet. It's like, oh, who's a good girl? Who's a good girl, right? And then she kind of like stops, looks at me weird. The owner comes out and it's like, what are you doing back there? I'm like, I'm trying to do my job. Can you get your dog? And he's like, Carissa, Carissa, come here, Carissa. The dog is now in a weird state where the owner's calling it and it's looking at me and it's still like jumping at me, right? Like every couple seconds, it keeps on like trying to jump and bite, right? But every single time it jumps to bite, I kind of give it like a little bit pet and a little bit of like, oh, who's a good girl? Who's a good girl, right? And it's calming down every single time it misses me, okay? And eventually I get it to calm down to the point where it's like, it's walking beside me. It's trying to go like arm at my arms, but it's no longer in attack mode. It's in play mode, okay? I'm like, yeah, you're a good girl. I grab a stick off the ground. I put it in the dog's mouth, and then the dog clamps onto that, and I grab the dog, and I pull it from the back of the yard, and I bring it to the owner. I'm like, here is your dog. Put it inside. Holy fucking shit. And he's just like, oh, well, what are you doing back here? You're not supposed to be back here. This is your fault. And I'm like, sir, I called in advance that I'd be here. Your gate is unlocked. This is your dog. Your dog just attacked me. I have a lot of adrenaline going right now. Take your fucking dog inside. Takes the dog inside. Turns out that the dog was not, like the owner that I was talking to, he wasn't the son, okay? He was the dad who has like semi-dementia or stuff like that. The son had come back that night, and because of his like flight time from Iraq all the way to home, he had unlocked the gate and he had passed out, and he had not woken up yet that day. So he forgot to like lock the dog from like going outside, because the dog goes outside just normally to go to the bathroom and stuff like that. So it was all good. It was all resolved. I didn't get like bit hard or anything like that. The dog did chew on me a little bit, okay? But like I got her down to the phase of like, hey, we're playing. Do not destroy my ass, before we got to the point where it actually bit me. So we're good. But fuck. Oh man, my heart was racing the whole rest of the day after that. Yeah, dealing with people with dementia is difficult. And like the son just came back from Iraq, and like he had flown straight from Iraq to Vancouver and then had to drive like 3 hours to get to his house. So like he was exhausted. Do you call some of the event your anger? So I was not angry at the time. I was like pump, like adrenaline pumping, because like I was so hecking like amped up, because like I just dodged being mauled by a pit bull at work. Yeah, dude, it was so fucking scary, honestly. Holy cow. Whatchamacallit? And that wasn't the only time I got attacked by a dog in a backyard, but it was the most memorable of the ones. I am very, very good with dogs. Yes, I am very, very good with dogs. Because like that dog wasn't a trained guard dog. It wasn't. I could tell by the way it was like running at me. It's not a trained guard dog. It's just a dog that you're in my territory, and I pretended to be a friend of the family so it would drop its guard and stop like being an asshole to me. This is to say, but I would be the one doing the attacking. Oh god. Here's the thing, Tiger. If you attack that pit bull that was in defense mode, it would be in attack mode forever, right? Like if I took something and hit it, right? If I started attacking the dog would keep on attacking me back. I had to disarm the dog, not instigate the dog. We have boarding kennels. I know all about dogs. Hell yeah, Dakota. You had a dog chase you on your bike once? Damn, dude. Damn.